It's week 13. Our long national nightmare of dealing with waivers is almost coming to a merciful end. Tonight, Mike Leone joins us as we go dumpster diving for tight ends in our 10K league. We'll also rip an underdog playoff draft. It's ship chasing.
Pat Fryer Helmo.
This is why I'm hot.
Anita Handjob.
Fix your sight.
Jamar. Alpha play chase.
Are you kidding me? Kadarius Toney?
You can't handle the heat.
Pete, it looks like we're finally this boys. You're right.
The bunny ear still gets me.
It's hard to believe that it was a week ago we were just getting absolutely shithoused on Thanksgiving Eve. It feels like that was a long time ago.
It does. It very much does.
Leone, thank you for joining us tonight. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good. You know, like you said, waivers are almost done, so that's always a good thing.
Yeah. I was, as I checked in on the chat, Leone, as usual, tries to kick off the waiver conversation earlier in the day, but in ship chasing fashion, we decide to have a flurry of conversation right at the last minute as I'm trying
I try to get my messages in around 9:14. That's what I think conversations are.
Go on the show.
Every single time. Like I tried to have a little back and forth with Leone today, and you guys are just fucking dead silent. And then right when we're about to get on the show, Gretch is just pounding out just massive paragraphs.
Me too, man. I had a lot to say. I had a lot to say around 9:10.
Which, by the way, we still have to fucking do this because
you took screenshots. It looked done. Is it not?
I disagree with all of the orders.
Gretch did disagree with everything you did.
at 9:07.
Well, yeah, people thought we just wanted to have like Leone on as just a true honored guest. No, it's literally we need to fucking hash this shit out because $62,000 is on the line.
90% of the reason I agree to do this show is like actually get the waivers.
I know.
Like it's like my one
that you don't actually want to be here.
Yeah, like I'm gonna actually just leave as soon as.
You did say you had a hard out as soon as waiver is clear. So.
Pete, you mentioned Thanksgiving was last week, and we should update the audience that none of us that we didn't win anything. That Daigle and Chris G won. Props to those guys the
I think we had I think I screwed us up though on that second team. If we had taken Aguilar instead of Daniel Jones and then gotten Mac Jones, I think we win. So,
the night game ended up flipping it. I did actually update it after the second game, and it didn't look like how it ended up was going to end up. The chat loved G's first team. That's not the team that won. Daigle won that one. He was very heavy on the Patriots in the first draft, and then G won the second one, I think.
The real question, though, Gretch, is I've heard that some big investors have come knocking. They're really interested in the technology at Gretch.com. Yeah. They're really impressed with your live scoring as well. That
the live scoring was good. I have to say, the live scoring, there was like an update pre-Sunday night, which I did not expect. I was honestly impressed with Gretch.com.
I did it on my phone, on the Google Sheets app on my phone.
I'm glad you guys are having fun, but TDPers on him at night.
All right, let's get into the nitty gritty. TDP or what's the latest with CMC? He had the red jersey on at practice today, but should be playing Sunday. Is that the latest on him?
Yeah. So my quick take is that for the playoff weeks, TDP has more upside than Knight. We don't need Knight. I guess we actually might start Knight right away this week, so maybe that's wrong.
I think I'm Knight. I think the fact that he was active and James Robinson was not is, I think, pretty bullish.
And he was good. Like, he looked good. My thing with TDP is like we've heard it a few different times this year. He's barely played. He hasn't been good when he's played.
He did play ahead of Mason though. The 1 week where people were like, "Oh, I think Mason's ahead." Like Mason's been active just because he's got it. He's second.
That must have been week 2.
Yeah.
I'm looking at his game log now.
I think TDP's a good ad. I'm with you there.
If CMC didn't play, like what percentage do you guys think the split would be? I assume it'd be more TDP on early downs, more Mason in pass situations.
Maybe like 60-40, which is like
I think Tevin Coleman comes up from the practice squad and probably plays more than any of us want.
Really?
Yeah, that could happen too.
Yeah.
He's on the practice squad right now. I think it's a 3-man conversation.
I'll put Zonovan ahead. I think we should keep the TDP bid the same though, and just really try to get one.
I agree.
I'm down with that.
We could just sort of wave the white flag that we're not going to get both, and up the tight end bids, which is what Matt was talking about. I guess it would be, do we add Mason for 17? Because we're not going to get Knight for 17, or we're not going to get.
I'd rather get a pick of the tight ends, or maybe not even our pick, but one of the top 2 tight ends.
What if you bring Mason down and add Coleman?
Yeah, I was gonna say let's sneak. I think I would take Coleman over TDP and Mason, especially considering you can get him for $1.
I would take Coleman over Mason. I would not take Coleman over TDP. But yeah, the question is, at that point, would we rather just get our quarterback now? Like, should we just not even?
So what's our quarterback situation? We have Tua, but we want to get a second when things lock.
Next week's the last week of Fab. There's just not much out there. If other people are cleaning up backup quarterback, there's like 4 starting quarterbacks available. And I think
there's a couple decent options. I think you're right. I'm with you on getting a second quarterback.
I think I'm there too. Yeah. I think I'd rather just like not get locked out of quarterback than get Jordan Mason.
And then we can up the Jelani bid to, I don't know. So we keep Zonovan like 111, quarterback for 3. That's 114.
Yeah, let's just
put it in the private chat.
This is like just a little bit.
Yeah,
you don't have as much practice.
Way ahead of when the bids lock. This is a 959 behavior right here.
Oh man, who's watching this?
I don't know.
172 of our closest friends right now. Although, based on the room that we're in,
an FFPC room here.
I'm gonna laugh really hard if he goes for 112.
Listen, man. I don't want to lose these bids here. Come on.
Sorry, I apologize.
No, it's fine.
It's not okay. It's okay. I'm still trying to back in some math, which I'll do in the private chat.
Yeah. Let's talk about the tight end stuff, because we are, of course, a Kyle Pitts team. We backfilled him with Trey McBride, who sucks and now is on. It has
Kyle Pitts team, so we've been looking for a tight end all year.
Daigle
had a lot of tight end points.
Daigle had a tweet too about how like Trey McBride is the perfect guy for Kyle Pitts owners to get their hopes up again of like, he's running all the routes, he's out on the field all the time, just not earning any fucking targets. We're just gonna do this all over again.
He's so bad. Hang on, Kyle Pitts earned a lot of targets within the context of his offense.
Not only is he not earning targets, when he does, he's like worse than Zach Ertz efficiency wise. Like it's like the whole point of McBride, and we talked about this in our Discord group message, so I'm repeating myself to you guys, but the whole point of him was this Zach Ertz role is so amazing. Imagine when we get someone in there who can average like more than 6 yards a catch. And then Trey McBride is averaging like 100% catch rate and still can't clear like 6 yards per target. Like,
yeah, it's embarrassing.
And like, if it's not happening for Trey McBride when Dortch and Rondale Moore are out, like when the fuck is it happening for Trey McBride?
I'm like still, I think I'd rather have him than Hunter Henry still, just like on the hopes that it go. Like I think the upside still.
But what about Pat's idea? So we have Dobbins stashed, and he's supposed to come back. Maybe our running backs are a little better than we think.
I mean, it's getting better, slowly. Like we've been doing a good job, and I think we have Gainwell, who's like not the worst emergency.
And
starter.
McKinnon and Algier. We're cutting some of the others.
Leone, would you mind screen sharing our team?
And P-Ryan, right? We need to keep P-Ryan.
And P-Ryan. Those are all just for RB2 because we're flexing receivers and we have Eckler.
I mean, it's screen sharing a second side, but do you guys like Henry or Bellinger?
Henry.
I'm Henry on that.
Okay.
I like Bellinger, but his eye got broken.
We don't know if that dude can see.
I legit was worried he lost his eye when I saw that injury. That was scary as fuck. His eye was like bleeding and it was really awful.
Is he gonna wear like a pirate patch?
No, what it was is that the bone was broken. So
right now
he's okay. Starting... His actual eyeball, I think, was fine.
McKinnon did not practice.
Yeah.
We're starting Dobbins this week. You guys just don't know it yet.
I mean, probably. What if Joe Mixon just rested? Maybe one more week, Joe. Maybe just take one more week off.
Limited practice today. I think he's going.
I mean, it's Algier, right? Or Gainwell. If McKinnon's hurt. You said McKinnon's kind of banged up.
I mean, Pirine is probably not totally out of play. I mean, I don't know who it would be right now. We'd at least have, like, last time I was on this, we were picking up Malcolm Brown / Ronnie Rivers. So it's gotten better.
Yeah, it's gotten better. We
should.
The guy I'm wondering about is Chuba.
Oh, that's good. We have Hubbard. I didn't realize we had him.
Yeah, but I'm gonna pitch this.
Ben saying we drop him.
I agree with you that he's a good extra piece.
I mean, don't you think we'd rather cut Ebner before Hubbard?
Yeah, we already have bids.
Hubbard would be like the $1 Coleman pickup. I think we should probably keep Hubbard, but that would be
we're saying what if we cut Hubbard for another tight end? We go in 3 with tight ends.
3 tight ends. The problem is can any of those guys realistically separate from the other guys with their roles to the point where you feel comfortable, or are you just having a third guy to flip coins with?
I don't know if they can. My pitch would be that if any of them does, they immediately impact our starting lineup.
So the way I see
all of the rest of our bench is not immediately impacting our starting lineup.
I mean, if Deonta Foreman gets hurt, we're fucking doing handstands.
He's getting 15 plus touches. Yeah.
Here's let me pitch the 3 tight end thing. I'm not sold that we need to do this, but this is my thinking: is that Jelani Woods showed enough target earning ability last week, and all 9 of his targets were on first reads, which I think is pretty interesting. Shows that they were calling plays with him in mind. So he could, if he runs enough routes and he keeps earning targets at a high rate, I mean, he could definitely separate. But there's also a chance that he's like a total nothing. And then there's also a chance McBride is a total nothing. And in that case, we're probably really happy to have Hunter Henry. So I'm not as bullish on McBride, but I do think, hey, he's out there running the routes. Probably not worth cutting him. So it's basically like we get 2 upside swings with McBride and Woods, and Hunter Henry's like our probably break glass in case of emergency, but the emergency is very likely to happen. You know what I mean?
I guess as long as McBride's healthy, I'm starting him over Hunter Henry, like almost no matter what.
Okay.
Like
all right.
If
that's how you feel, then I'm not going to push Henry.
know he's been terrible, but that role has been so good. Even with like Marquise Brown coming back and there not being a ton of room. If Trey McBride's playing 76% of snaps every week for Arizona, like I mean, the floor on every tight end is 0. So like I'm playing that over Hunter Henry.
Ben, are you gonna defend your boy? You're the Hunter Henry guy.
I'm not like super in on him. I just think I don't want to like the fact that the floor is 0 and the fact that Jelani Woods and Trey McBride are both rookies that have not shown it. I mean, Woods had a good game, but it would not be that surprising to see him go back to 2 targets.
Me neither.
You're like 2-3 weeks down the line. I'm looking ahead and going, I don't want to be in a position where we're looking at Trey McBride and Jelani Woods and they're both projected for like 3 points. And we're like,
that's what I'm envisioning.
Yeah, and Hunter Henry's going to at least project for 8. You know,
I want to put this into perspective. The Hunter Henry prop line this week on receptions is 2.5, heavily juiced to the under. So, like,
I put this in perspective. Trey McBride has a 0.30 yards per route run, and that's basically in line with his target volume. He's been like hot garbage.
But like his hot garbage is a little bit worse than Hunter Henry's hot garbage. I mean, like, I just don't see. I don't know. It just seems nuts to me to like give up on McBride that quickly.
Well, no, I'm not suggesting we give up on McBride. I'm saying we clear a roster spot to. I think that like our worst case scenario isn't McBride and Woods both being absolute dust.
But like if they're absolute dust, then like we have to start Hunter Henry, and he's more or less absolute dust too. Like plus
he's dust that can catch a touchdown though.
So how many cut? We're cutting Pitts and Ebner for sure. Have we talked about cutting Dearness as a third?
Yeah, so
we're cutting Dearness.
We're cutting those 3 already for sure. So it would be Hubbard for a third tight end, and I'm pretty firmly in the
on
Hubbard.
Henry. Can I just make one last little pitch that they had their highest pass rate of the year, highest pass rate over expected of the year, just this week against Minnesota. I mean, they're playing in a dome, but like Mac Jones actually played better. It looked like felt like they've wanted to pass a little bit more than they've been able to at times. They're going to have some outdoor games, so it's not like they're going to – but like they play at Arizona, at Vegas, weeks 14, 15. I mean, is there a possibility that Henry gets more interesting because the Patriots actually throw more down the stretch? Or is that something more completely out on?
I mean, it's possible. Anything's possible. I mean, it's possible. It's also possible that like Trey McBride stops sucking. Like, I mean, yeah, it's possible.
I'll tell you what's possible is that Max Williams starts playing over Trey McBride.
Well, like we do have.
I don't think he's guaranteed to keep that role.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they kept trotting Ertz out there, which I guess we see why they did. No, but
yeah, now we know why. We all owe apologies.
I don't know.
To Zach
I feel like you guys are burying McBride. As bad as the data is, it's still pretty small sample. It's still a tight end we like coming out of the draft. It's still a pretty valuable tight end role in general. I just think you guys are burying him a little too much. Ultimately,
McBride? I'm with you on that.
I don't think we can go 3 tight ends. Like it's non-tight end premium. Like if you guys want to pick up Henry, see if you can sneak him for $1 and drop McBride, like that wouldn't be my vote, but I would do that before dropping.
So you don't have a concern with a scenario if we go McBride Woods into the playoffs where we're like getting nothing just because, like you said, tight end floors are so low and Henry's floor is low too. Like that just
like I mean, taking a 3rd tight end, it's like I mean, what I just don't see that really making a tangible difference. For us.
Now I'll make the case.
It's more bullets in the chamber at a position we don't have a starter at. The only one
right, but it's like throwing what's that expression like throwing more
good money after bad.
Good money after bad, or like I mean, if they both suck, like so be it. Like. I don't know.
Real quick, just before G was asking for kind of a little table setting, can you guys let him know what we're playing for right here as far as how many teams are going to make it into the playoffs? This is a single 12-team self-contained league.
Yeah, so 4 teams make the playoffs. The first seed is on head-to-head record with points as a tiebreaker, which really luckily for us, the team with the most points has already locked that up. And that means the next 3 spots are just based on points, not record, which is what we need. And you can see here, it's basically like 4 teams for 2 spots. We are currently in the 4th spot, 10 points behind the 3 spot, 28 ahead of the 4th, 28 ahead of the 5th, 30 ahead of the 6th. So it's pretty tight. Like we're in an okay spot. I think we feel good about our lineup for the most part, with the exception of obviously tight end. So that's the table. So the other thing, Ben's talking about not wanting Tannehill as our quarterback, but I kind of feel pretty good about that as the backup play.
Let me just make my pitch on the tight end. Let's move to quarterback because I'm curious about that too. So I'll actually go ahead and say, forget the 3 tight end idea, but maybe we should consider dropping McBride straight up for Henry. With the idea that, like, you're saying we're downplaying the role and stuff for McBride, but like Henry has the same role. He's 70% route rate this year, 74% last week. Henry's like a professional tight end, not the most upside in the world or anything, but his yards per route run is literally 4 times higher. Like
yards per route run is such a tricky stat in these samples. I mean, I just. And the thing for me is like,
I don't know, man.
When Zach Ertz, he's been terrible. I mean, I guess I'm just more like zoomed out in terms of like to me, the roll stuff has more upside than like the short-term yards per route run, which is my like expected fantasy point stuff for the Arizona tight end position. When Ertz went out, he was top 10 pass catcher in the entire NFL, wide receivers and tight ends. Like, I would just rather gamble on that with all these guys having low floors than gamble on Henry. I know McBride sucks and he's most likely going to continue to suck, but like that continue.
But I wasn't trolling with the Max Williams thing. He had a 4% route rate 2 weeks ago coming back from injury. He was at 47% last week. I don't think it's like
that wasn't at the expense of McBride.
It wasn't at the expense of McBride, but
that's
any additional increase. Right. Any additional increase would be at the
But he did come in for McBride in one tight end sets in like the first quarter. Like that, watching the game, I noticed that like there was rotation at times. I was annoyed because I've been touting McBride.
I mean, if you guys, I think it would have to be like a $1 bid.
So let me pitch something as we talk through this more. I'm looking at all the rosters in the league. There is one other team in the entire league that has only one quarterback. There are two that have at least three. There's one that has four.
Jesus.
I don't know why. We might get boxed out of a backup quarterback, and that would probably be pretty bad. But what if we – because I think with Woods, with McBride, and with Henry with the PROE stuff, there's some potential to get more information on all three of them.
Well, we're not going to get more information on McBride.
Oh, he's on
because they're on bye.
He's on bye. Yeah. So, and we're not getting more information on Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry is who he is all season long.
Right.
If they pass heavy again, I think that's really interesting.
I mean,
it would be a small sample, but I would start to be more interested in their pass offense.
I think we should get the backup quarterback and make the decision on the tight ends now.
But we have like
getting
boxed
out really suck.
To get boxed out at QB seems.
We have
who are the four options? Tanny, who are the other three?
Tannehill, Heineke, Pickett, and Mike White. And I don't know if I'd count Mike White.
Yeah.
And for what we're looking for.
Why you might not be able to count him. It's fair.
He might not be the starter when we need him 4 weeks from now or whatever.
Like, yeah, it just.
Man.
Crane made the point in our Slack or in our Discord, which is basically it's an emergency backup. We need this person to be available. You know, like the upside doesn't really matter as much as like kind of the stability there. If you guys want to take a shot on a Henry, like I guess that's fine. I would feel more comfortable grabbing the backup quarterback ultimately, but like I would much rather wait on the quarterback than drop Chuba or drop McBride. Like
we would tilt our fucking face off with 62K on the line if we were taking a zero at quarterback. We need to get a quarterback.
I think we should get our quarterback.
At the same
Tua
time,
has not been a picture of health either.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't really want to risk that. At the same time, what we're talking about with the with McBride on a bye, so we're going to start whoever we add at tight end, right? Yes. And if we only add one, somebody said in the chat earlier that Henry would be the better play this week. Is that I haven't even looked at the match.
I think we all agree Henry would be the better play this week.
We still got to get in. Is something else that I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
you know. I mean, we could play Henry while we're doing this 3 tight end thing and seeing if Woods backs it
We
up.
Can't get McBride back, right? When we drop him, he's gone.
No, he's gone.
I don't know if that's accurate.
Oh,
for NFFC, that's an FFPC rule. I'm pretty sure he's.
I thought you said that in the chat earlier. My bad.
I think he said all waivers lock in.
Got it.
2 weeks.
All waivers lock next. We can't get him back Saturday, but I think we could get him back.
But could we get him back next week? Well, that's because if we can get him back next week, then I think we should drop him and try to get him back.
Okay, but I think we have to gamble on it being able to get Henry for $1.
Yeah, yeah. It's Henry for $1.
I'm good with that.
And if we can do that, then we try to pick him up next week.
This week, I think that has value. Thanks, Henry.
Henry Muto is yelling at us in the chat. Henry, you can take your all caps off. We will be able to read the message in lowercase.
4 asterisks. Like, good Lord.
I agree with that. I like this rule better. I hate the blocking thing.
Yeah, I didn't realize that FFPC rule. Like, I'm in a standalone league, and it's that way too. And it's like,
oh, really? Yeah.
It seems really weird for a standalone.
It does.
Like, I just realized how tilting it does have to be for people like Henry to watch the show, and we're like, we don't even know the rules.
We're playing for 10K entry league, we don't know the rules. It's unbelievable. All right, well, I've got that in and saved. I would vote to just keep McBride, but I'm not like against this, and I've got it in and saved.
But I feel like it's good process to drop the guy on the bye. We get the information on we get $1 starter, and we get the information on the young guy, and then. We're probably throwing Henry back and picking back up McBride.
No, it is. The difference is just like I am on an island with how much I like McBride still.
Yeah, I agree with Leone that of all these guys we're discussing, McBride is like the only one with a glimmer of upside, like a glimmer of separating from the rest of
Woods
the
has upside. He's athletic,
I mean-
and he just got a bunch of targets. Like,
Yeah, they just always do the 3 tight end shit and like. Well, I mean, I like.
well,
it's
they
a
don't.
different coach.
Maybe they
and-
don't. Yeah, it's a different coach. Jeff Saturday's
I mean,
been playing.
but Kylan Granson being out, like that
Yeah,
matters.
yeah. I agree. It could that could really matter. I think Wood's most likely scenario is that he's a total drop, but I think he has upside. I mean, Saturday's been kind of crazy about playing his best players for like, I mean, two out of 3 weeks. Jonathan Taylor 90% plus snaps. I mean,
All right, two questions.
Jonathan Taylor and Jelani Woods, very, very similar cases. in
well,
terms of-
the guy doesn't seem to be like too concerned about like rotations. Is my point. Michael Pittman out there all the time as well.
I guess the question mark would be: do we want to lower the Woods bid and up the Henry bid to like 2 or 3? And also, do we want Bellinger? If the theory is like get another look at a tight end, do we want Bellinger as a conditional bid on the McBride drop?
No on Bellinger. He might not even play this week, so we might just risk losing the tight end we want for a tight end we want less. And then no, I think Henry for $1 that's what I want a victory lap. So don't change it to 2 or 3.
What a sad victory lap that would be. And then, sorry, tell me the other QBs: Tanny, Mike White, Pickett, and Heine. Those are the 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Tanny's the best, even with the scoring not like favoring him super well.
I think James makes a decent point here. This is sort of like what I've been trying to get at, but not really like wanting to say. But he says Henry's the only tight end discussed as scheme near the goal line. Like, he's had a pretty good touchdown rate since he came to New England. Just the idea that like it's not tight end premium, and you kind of just, especially with our lineup, tight ends are weak spot. Like, you kind of just want some TD upside.
Yeah, I mean Zach Ertz. I mean, I guess it depends like how different you think Ertz and McBride are used, because Ertz's role was incredible.
That's true.
At the goal line.
Yeah.
Again, and maybe I'm like clear. I mean, it seems like I'm probably overweighting that tight end role as a whole, but that's my thought. As far as the quarterback stuff, the schedule, I thought Tennessee's schedule was like okay. They have Dallas defense the last week, which is bad, but they have at Carolina and versus Las Vegas, which just for touchdown upside is decent. Oh no, sorry, I was looking at the Pitt schedule. They have at
Tennessee gets Houston week 16.
Yeah, Tennessee's at Chargers
heavy,
versus Houston and versus Dallas. So like 2 good matchups, one pretty bad.
I mean, the Jets one is real plush. Detroit,
so the Jets,
Jacksonville, Seattle.
Yeah, I also
What
like.
do they get in between? Can anyone ruin the Mike White experience?
Yeah, I guess like what do you guys think? Like, do you think this is like Zach Wilson's done, or are they sending him a message? Like,
I mean,
maybe
with
they
Mike
were sending
White
him a
playing
message,
that well. I just don't know how
They are in playoff position. Is the other really? I think they need to find out what they like, and they already probably know what they have in Zach Wilson. But like everything Saleh said, it was never a question whether to take him out until he lost the entire locker room and he had no choice. But then even then, his comments were, "We're going to play him again this year." Basically, he's pretty much said no uncertain terms. We're going to play him. I think like the mandate has been we got to play him as much as we can this year, because if he's not the guy, we need to know, and we need to move on in the offseason, right? But
White's at Buffalo in week 14. That feels like he looks shaky, and they take as an excuse to bench him ahead of Detroit and give Zach Wilson another chance, right?
Yeah, I just don't think. I mean, the whole point is it's emergency backup that we just absolutely have to have some.
So
points.
cute,
Like,
it's so cute.
I think White's the best. Like a lot of these guys are saying White's it. Like I think White's definitely the best option for like in a vacuum, but. These guys in the chat are underrating the possibility that
we're not starting any of these guys. We have Tua. So none of these guys is starting unless Tua is hurt. And then the guy, we have to have the guy. He has to be.
What I'm trying to spit out for the chat is that the chat is underweighting the organizational investment in Zach Wilson. That is a real thing.
Peter, what's your thought?
My point is, if we're taking down this league, Garrett Wilson is fucking scorching the earth down the stretch. And if Garrett Wilson is scorching the earth, it's with Mike White at quarterback. So that's just like another way to think about this.
We have Treylon Burks and we get the Tanny stack, and maybe Treylon Burks scorches down the stretch. Like,
what about that, Pete? You ever think of that?
Well, I think Tanny I think Burks can he doesn't have the quarterback change. Like if we go back to Zach
That's
Wilson and the
true,
Mike
yeah.
White thing doesn't work out, like we're
Wilson's
sunk.
dust.
We-
Yeah.
Burke scorching feels like big plays too. Like it doesn't necessarily mean it carries Tannehill with it.
One
But
thing
don't
we could
need like
do,
a
right?
huge perform. I mean, Tanny just had like the 302 game against the Packers and like what should have been a run heavy script. Like, I mean, like they're good enough that he's going to be fine. Like it's not massive upside, but I think he fits what we need pretty well, and the correlation is a little bit of a bonus.
So one thing we could do, because didn't we just talk about how there's not that many people who need quarterbacks?
Yeah.
Yes.
It doesn't appear that way.
So we could pick
But-
up Mike White and we leave ourselves like a couple bucks. And
No,
then
dude,
next week, we have next week to go, I don't think White's going to be starting in week 16. And then we can go get a different quarterback.
I think that's gonna like fake information. Like I think like
Yeah.
I agree.
we're not. I mean, we're just wasting money. We're either at that point we're just keeping Mike White, or we've wasted. Like at that point, I would rather do the 3 tight end thing and then pick up the quarterback next week if that's our plan.
That's true.
I agree with your point, Pete, about Garrett Wilson. And I initially, when I was responding in chat, when I was disagreeing on everything, my disagreement was that I would prefer White.
Everything.
Hey, we already did I got you guys on the zone of it at least. My initial point on the QBs was I would do White, but I do think the point that this is just a backup and we are almost certainly playing Tua in every situation. We just need to kind of play some points.
Yeah.
Like
We just can't get completely boxed out at quarterback. Like
Like
it's
Tannehill,
already a
this is-
problem.
Here's the only
Wait.
thing I would say is there any risk of Tannehill sitting down the stretch?
no,
ooh,
absolutely not. What would the risk be? They're in first in the division, playing for
Yeah.
the
And they
playoffs.
saw Malik and they did not like what they saw.
Yeah,
There's
that's
zero. There's
Yeah.
no risk. I
All right.
mean, it's
As long as
absolutely
he's healthy,
boring.
he's out there.
Dude, it's boring, but it's the right play. It's correlated with Burks. He's gonna be
Yeah.
fine.
I
I'm
think
with you.
Pickett is the one we could have a longer discussion.
Yeah,
about,
I'm
because-
surprised that the Pickett Hive didn't speak up here.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
he's playing.
Oh, is he playing bad?
No, I mean he's going to play the rest of the year, is what I was saying.
Okay.
his schedule's good too. Carolina.
schedule's very
Vegas,
good, yeah.
Ravens.
Yeah.
Pickett's
I
like
could be
middling
talked-
the Tannehill White thing.
I could be talked into Pickett. I just think I would tie break with the correlation
Stack.
with Burks. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leone and his fucking correlations. No, I'm just kidding. That's
hey,
right.
buddy,
That's right.
we hit the Ayuk Atlanta stack that one week.
Well,
Okay.
here's the last thing. If we literally just name 3 quarterbacks that are at least in the conversation, do we just want to wait
That's what I
till
was
next
saying.
week?
I think if we wait, there's a very high probability that we get a quarterback, but I also think it's a cute risk to take, and I don't know what these people are going to do. I don't think we should.
I agree with
assign-
Leone. I
Yeah,
think we
they
just
might-
take care of it.
They might just slap us around.
That's sort of the Mike White thing again. It's like
One guy already has 4 QBs and they're all starters.
yeah.
I mean, this fucking guy. What place is he in?
I think his team's actually in contention still. It's the Stith and Co guy that was leading in record for a while.
Oh my god.
He's
I mean, I think we worked this out pretty good. I think what we have is good. I mean, if you guys can vote on Pickett versus Tanny, like my vote's Tanny, but I mean, I
vote
think
Tanny.
that's a fine swap. But
he's been stashing Deshaun Watson. He also has Russell Wilson, Jimmy Garoppolo, and Marcus Mariota. He probably cuts one of those this week now that Watson's back.
like I said, if we're gonna take the gamble, we can try and get Henry for $1
Yeah.
and keep McBride, which I'm not opposed to.
I'm on team keep McBride.
It's
I'm on
kind
team
of like
drop him during his bye and try to get him back next week.
I'd rather just keep him too.
No information. We're not going to get any information.
We
no,
can lose him if somebody else wants him.
We'll lose him, but we'll have Hunter Henry for $1. It's a pretty good deal.
but we can.
And we're starting Hunter Henry this week, and we need to make the playoffs in the first place.
All right, it depends on the QB risk because we would just be adding Henry instead of quarterback on the Ebner drop.
My vote is we pick up a quarterback on the Ebner drop. We go for one of the running backs on the other drop, and then we drop Hunter Henry for $1. We drop Trey McBride for $1, picking up Hunter Henry as a solo bid, nothing else contingent.
Then
you
who
guys
are we
like
playing at tight end if we don't get Hunter Henry?
This is
We have
super.
Woods and another bit.
Well, then we
Yeah,
have
but-
another bid that's a tight end bid that Hunter Henry is also involved in, but he's the secondary behind Woods.
Gotcha.
And it's more money, so we're like, unless someone really likes Hunter Henry, we're gonna get him.
Yeah.
If we get shut out on this on Knight and both San Francisco running backs, do you guys like Justin Jackson or Boston Scott better?
Jackson.
Jackson.
Okay. All right. So right now we're adding the quarterback and Henry which means we're dropping McBride.
Was this
The other-
productive for you, Leone, or does this feel
Well,
like...
didn't we just have
No, this
3
is
votes to
productive.
keep McBride?
Yeah, I got outvoted on that, but did I sway you guys?
I mean,
I guess
I
I'm
made a case,
kind of like
and then Leone was going to
That
do
was
what I said.
that was one of those ones where Pat felt 80% one way and we all felt 40% the other way.
This is
Pat
so
won.
fucking
My vote
classic.
counts for 4, so you lose.
Leone persuades us to his side and then fucking
Well-
flip flops once we're over there.
all right. I'm putting in we're gonna take the quarterback. Well, I'm just like torn. Like, I mean, if it was up to me, we just keep McBride and pick up the quarterback. But I'm not getting that. That's not happening.
Hang on, why not?
Wait, that is
Yeah.
what you're arguing for.
I'm arguing for keeping McBride and picking up the quarterback.
Yeah,
That's
at,
what-
at an expense
what
of
you
another
have-
running back.
How is that not what you're doing?
No. Well,
That is
I
what you
thought
should
you
do
guys were-
unless you.
I thought you
Unless
guys
I
were
have
arguing
outvoted
for picking up Hunter Henry and waiting on the quarterback.
No
No.
one wants to do that, including
No one wants to wait on the. Okay, so it's just Henry versus McBride.
me.
Yes.
I want to
Okay,
put
I
in. I want to do what
misunderstood.
you want to do, but then I want to put in a separate bid, dropping McBride for Henry for $1 because
So everybody
it gives
wants
us
to
a
get
starter.
the quarterback on the Ebner drop, no matter what.
Ebner drop quarterback.
Okay, that's 100%. Okay, so then it's just straight up. Do we go Henry for $1 and McBride? I mean, I think Pat made some good points. I'm really torn on this one.
I think I'm
It's
on
extra
Henry
starting
because
equity.
it improves our lineup this week and we still need to get in.
Yeah,
Are we starting Henry over Jelani?
That's what I asked earlier and everyone said yeah.
I think I would vote
I don't know.
Henry.
Okay. Then I think we should pick him up.
I know we're running out of time, but I need to think about this for a second.
If there's an argument that we're starting Jelani over Henry anyway, then
Yeah. different.
that's the argument to keep McBride. I think is that we're going
Yeah.
to start Jelani anyway. So make that argument.
Because
and
Pete
you
made the
keep
case that
McBride.
Granson's coming back.
convince
No,
me,
wait.
Leone.
Well, I mean, we couldn't responsibly, I don't think, start Jelani over Hunter Henry.
Okay.
Right.
Then that's
You
sort
are-
of my
you are
whole
sick.
case for adding Henry from the get-go. It's like we're gonna feel like that in week 16, I think, too.
Yeah, it's just like, is it going to make a difference? I guess.
Yeah.
But someone smart and wise once told me it's the ceiling weeks that win you things. It's not the 4 weeks that lose you things.
Who said that?
Ben Gretsch.
No, that's what I said in chat earlier. Is I'm literally doing the opposite of usual.
Well, someone was like, I can't believe Pat is arguing for a dusty veteran and Leone's talking him into an exciting rookie.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
the other side of it is, I mean, well, first of all, this is
You've
our
changed, Leone.
weakest lineup spot, I would argue. The other side of it is, what is ceiling at tight end? Is 15 points ceiling? Because like Hunter Henry probably has 15-point ceiling.
Yeah. I mean, should we not pick up Jelani?
No,
Yeah.
I think we
You
should.
should
'cause he
definitely
could
pick up
actually-
Jelani.
Well, Jelani missed practice today, FYI, too. That's a data point.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Could he not play this week? Is that a possibility?
Yeah, when you not practicing, Kylan Granson coming back, let's just be done with this Jelani shit.
I mean, I just
That's
irrationally
the upside
like,
swing. That's the only guy who's upside of these three.
I mean, I think McBride has the upside, but we've had
Yeah.
that conversation already.
I think bailing on Jelani is not a good idea.
I love how in on McBride you are, Leone. I want to just ride McBride.
I mean, I'm just trying to take like long view, right? Like I know he's been terrible, but like
Yeah.
he was a prospect we liked, and it's a really good
I love
role.
it.
And like
I'm
that's
in
good.
on this. Ride McBride. Ride McBride.
Well, right now we're dropping McBride. So.
Yeah, we-
No!
Cool your
Christ.
jets. Well, I mean, we can't pick up if Jelani missed practice now, we can't pick up Jelani and not pick up Henry.
Exactly. Yeah, that's
So
why
you got to
we
put
need
Henry
lose
ahead of
Jelani. We
Jelani.
have to get rid
That's
of
what I
Jelani.
just asked. And
Yeah.
that's
No,
what I just
Jelani's
asked.
getting rid
we
of
gotta
Jelani
let
makes
it go.
no sense.
Pat, we need a fucking starting tight end this
Yeah,
week.
that's why we
cannot
dropped-
risk Jelani not playing.
That's why we pick up Hunter Henry for $1, dude. And if we don't get Hunter Henry,
What if we try to pick up Jelani for $1 and we make Henry the one? we
Jelani's
make sure
not going
we
for
get?
$1. He just went for 98 yards on 9 targets.
Yeah.
Going. Oh, Jelani missed practice because of a
I know
shoulder
the funny
quad.
thing is, we're not even getting Jelani with our bid. Like, it's
Yeah,
not
we're probably not
$1.
going to get him. He's the hot
Then
commodity.
good. Let someone else deal with it.
Dude,
All right,
we
so I wanna
literally
be
don't have a
clear-
tight end, and this guy is like super athletic and just got 9 first reads. Like,
Right.
there's upside.
Trey
here.
McBride was
I'm
the
in.
first tight end taken in this class.
He also
What
has
is-
blown. He's blown so hard.
I
Jelani
do
looks
not
like
see
nothing all
the
season.
short, small sample yards per out run the same as you. I just don't.
I thought we just got to the point
Take it
where
in.
we said that Trey McBride was the upside play. But now Pat's
Well-
making a passionate case that Jelani's a better upside play.
I can't believe
Jelani's a much
it's
better.
cutting
upside.
coming down to the wire like this.
Yeah,
This is
we got 3
riveting.
minutes.
There's way too many knocks against Jelani right now.
Dude.
Okay.
Like we don't have a tight end. Like deciding we're not interested in this super athlete. I mean, he's the most athletic tight end in the whole class. My thing was he can't get targets. He's not really a receiver. Then they just threw him out there for 69% of the routes. He draws 9 targets. He looks fucking awesome. He's the upside play. Like skipping on this. Like,
what if
oh,
we
we're too
wait
good
on
for
the
Jelani.
wait? What if we
Crazy.
wait on the quarterback and then we take Bridgewater if we have to?
Yeah, that's a good that's a
Okay,
good call.
I'd be into that.
Yeah. 3 tight ends it is. We're all
This
over the
this
place.
Jelani, yeah, and Jelani has the bye next week. I mean,
Dude,
what are
we don't
fucking
have a
doing?
tight end. We don't have a tight end.
Jela-
We lost Kyle Pitts. We never replaced him.
Putting Jelani on the roster will be the same as putting Kyle Pitts on the roster.
Oh man.
I'm convinced I really would like us to get Hunter Henry. If Jelani has a bye
Yes.
next week too, like I don't really
Yes.
want to play Trey McBride in the first game after his bye when
We
he hasn't
should,
done anything.
considering how tight these margins are for us, we shouldn't even be discussing Jelani. We should be getting a tight end who's going to play the next
and
2 weeks.
starting him for 2 weeks so we can get
Yeah.
into the playoffs.
Okay. You guys are fucking making me panic. Jesus fucking Christ.
I do think the point on the Hunter Henry thing, we shouldn't have like one tight end that is like way higher. Like let's have
Okay.
them.
I've got. Well, can I say what I have? There's 2
Yeah, it's
minutes left.
9:58. Just do it.
I got Jelani for 8 dropping pits. Hunter Henry's the backup bid for 8 dropping pits. Then I have a second claimless dropping to Ebner with Hunter Henry for 5. And then it's Pickett or Tannehill as the conditional bids there. And we're keeping McBride.
That sounds good.
Yes.
So Pickett over Tannehill now.
If we win all our
you
bids,
guys
we go
pick Pickett or
3 tight ends.
Tannehill? Quick
Tannehill
votes.
for me. Tannehill.
Give me
You can
Pickett.
go Tannehill over Pickett if you want. I was the one.
I'll get outvoted. I don't care.
You want Pickett? I want Pickett.
Yeah.
Too.
All right, we'll go Pickett.
Fucking A, Greg.
Wait, you want Pickett now?
I'm neutral. I'm neutral.
You were the one making the Tannehill argument
Well,
to get the correlation.
All right, I think Tannehill. I like Tannehill.
Why do you keep
but I
flip
don't-
flopping as soon as people agree with you?
I don't feel strongly.
You did it to me now. You did it to them. And I
Fine,
thought it was
I'm
funny
putting-
because it wasn't happening to me. And now you did it to me. And I don't
Tannehill.
like it at all.
Fine. I put
You
Tannehill.
like it?
I've been bullied. Back to my own opinions. So Tannehill wins, and we're keeping McBride.
Oh my god.
Okay, I think we actually did this right, as long as my math checks out, which is
Maybe lower something by $1 just in case.
No, you're good. I'm looking at it. Your math should check out.
yeah, it leaves us
Oh my
with
God.
some emergency funds for next week if we get everything. Like, I mean, hopefully we get one of these right. I think getting Zonovan or TDP would be like a pretty.
Matt,
big
you'll be
get,
glad to
but-
know that amidst all that joking around, Tannehill did work his way back ahead of Pickett.
Yeah, I said he did. I was bullied back into my
Yeah,
opinions.
we bullied him into thinking his previous thoughts.
I'm
We
just,
Pete are distraught over here. The Kenny Pickett contingent.
all right. Good group effort.
The
Good
Bridgewater
job, guys.
The
How much
Bridgewater
do you
point.
think- How much
was-
do you think the viewers got out of this episode?
The chat was getting restless. I mean, I don't even really blame them.
It's a little niche.
I I think we need a palate cleanser before we hop in this underdog draft. What highlight reel do you guys want to see that we haven't seen in a long time? Should we see the Sky Moore highlight reel?
Yeah.
Dude,
It's been a
Sky's got
while.
life.
6 targets,
Guys,
2
he's
weeks in a
Got
row.
one.
Sky Moore, 2 wise.
That's the fucking sickest name I've ever seen for a wide receiver in my goddamn life. Sky's up.
Oh, let's go.
All right, let's do an underdog playoff draft before we all go to bed.
Can we do the Leone Lodden thing that David
Sure.
suggested or no?
No, I mean, Leone, you're the one that has a hard out, so let's do this.
Well, we can do that and an underdog draft, and then I'll get going.
Okay,
All right.
what's your Lodden Thinks?
Well,
How does Lodden
David's-
Thinks work again for the viewers?
so I have a guess, and you guys are trying to guess what my guess is,
Got it.
basically.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter if my guess is correct in any way,
Yeah.
shape, or form.
Right.
So I tweeted about a nerdy fantasy book, and then Davis replied, Lodione, trying to combine Lodden and Leone. How many books have Gretsch, Crane, Overset read combined in 2022? So you have to guess what I think it is.
And remember, Gretsch, so the whole thing, it's kind of like when you play apples to apples. It does not matter how many books we've actually all read. It's just what Leone thinks.
Yeah, I could be off.
So we're
by
going to find out
100,
about
yeah.
how illiterate that
Leone
Leone
thinks we
thinks
are.
we
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
This is
Right.
this is embarrassing.
Are we? Okay, can I get a clarification on the question? Are we saying full cover to cover? You got to finish the book.
Yes.
Okay.
Gretsch, how many books are you bailing on halfway through?
I think Leone's guess just down.
Well, I will say, as someone who reads Stealing Signals Substack and admitted he hasn't been reading a lot of books, but reading a lot of Wikipedia pages,
Right.
I think that might be an interesting data point.
Literally just wrote this the other day.
Did I read
He
it?
only
or not?
happens to read it as well. So that
Did
was
I
a good
read
one.
it or not? Did I read that episode?
Okay.
Pat's got a calculator out?
I'm writing it down on my phone so that
Calculator.
it's legit.
Well, 0.3 books a day times 365 days minus X days for holidays.
Us three combined in 2022, Leone's guess for us.
We got to all.
right.
We're supposed to all write it down.
Yeah, so we're writing down Leone's guess, and I have Leone's guess down.
I have Leone's guess down as well.
Scratch paper. Oh fuck.
Why is this so small?
I'm just embarrassed for how little Leone's gonna think of us. I can tell.
No, me too.
I raised my guess. I liked my first guess better. All right.
All right, Pat, what's your guess?
8.
That was my first guess. I
God,
did 11.
I'm hoping that I can drag us up here a little bit. 16.
Oh, wow. Do you guys read more than I think you read?
8 was my first guess. What did you have?
Okay, so I was
What did your guess,
counting.
Gretch?
I did 11.
Oh, you did
I was
11.
counting Ben at 0.
I thought me and Ben would be low. Can I say? I thought you were going to guess 4 for Pete and 2 for me and Ben. That's how I got to 8.
I didn't know how many Pete's read. I thought it could be as many as 10. Honestly.
I was thinking like 3 for Pete and 2 for Pat, so I went 5.
Dude, that's fucked up, Leone.
Here, what's the correct answer?
I've read 11 books. I have a spreadsheet. I read 11 books through August, and I haven't read a single book since the season started. I went on vacation to
Pat,
Hawaii.
how many of you read cover to cover?
I have no idea. It's not a ton. It's probably like 2, 3.
All right, so I'm way off, but Peter wins.
Mine is 0.
Or no, Peter didn't win.
My answer is 0.
You're not that.
I've
far.
read parts of books. I have not read a full book cover to cover this year.
So I was initially 3.
I
and
got
then
kids. I got
I
11-year-old
almost
and
went
7-year-old
7.
kids. You fuckers. Pete's gonna
Because
learn. in
I
about 10
started
years.
the Confederacy of Dunces and didn't finish that.
Oh,
Ooh, how
come
is
on,
that?
finish
That's come
that
up on a
book.
lot of.
It was.
Great book.
I was getting a little bored.
No,
I
Ignatius
read
is one of the
Showtime.
all-time literary characters.
I reread
this
the
is
second
interesting.
So
This
I
says-
apologize, Peter, for shorting you.
Yeah.
I like that I was actually correct. I don't care that that was
I read-
rule.
I
Or close
I think
to
I read
correct.
3 books this year.
3. And Peter, you read 11, so 14.
Yeah, and I will cop to this. I have not read the 2 baby books that I bought.
I skimmed the one I had.
Antonio says Dr. Seuss doesn't count.
No,
but it is.
Dr. Seuss doesn't
Just
count.
right.
I was not counting audiobooks either.
Yeah, I've listened
I don't do
to audiobooks. I
audiobooks.
wasn't either.
The thing that tripped me up is, God, in season just feels like so long that I think I underestimated all the time Peter had before the season starting. You know what I mean? Like it just it
See, I
feels like
thought
the
you'd
whole
have
year
him at like
into and
10 or
of
11. That's
itself.
why I went up, is I thought you'd have.
Well, how many books have you read, Leone?
I have it tracked on my Goodreads. Hold on.
Because if it's more than 5, it feels like
Yeah.
you're just underestimating like us.
That's
as
gonna
people,
make this
not
way
our time.
dicker of his.
Now all of a sudden, it doesn't feel about the time so much.
I should have looked back at mine. Well, also like I talked to like Drew doesn't really read much, and like
Oh,
Let's-
this is
let's
a good
do
one.
one more.
one of the nine.
That's good.
We should do this one. This is a fun one here. As Leone, we should do one. Do you see this, Leone? How many spreadsheets does Pete think Ben, Pat, Leone have saved to their desktop? The only thing that I
Well-
think throws a wrinkle in this is, are we going to include like Google Sheets?
Oh,
But it's
yeah.
saved to
I
the
do everything
desktop.
in Google Sheets.
That's
So I was
that's
gonna
why I
say we should say spreadsheets that we consult every week.
Yeah, I don't have Excel on this computer. I don't
see.
use
That's
Excel.
why. That's what I was worried about.
Desktop it shouldn't be the thing.
Yeah, 12 books.
Wow, and you had Pete at 3?
I fucked
Damn,
up.
dude.
Okay,
Oh
I just
man, that's
Wow,
rough.
dude.
dude, I messed up.
You had me
Clearly,
at 0? How dare you?
But it
I
is
think-
0 though.
I think
You guessed
think-
right.
I think knowing Ben was at 0 like anchored me low.
Yeah.
Like
Well, you
I was
were-
like, well,
you
Ben's for
guessed
sure
me too.
0.
Like right. So
Huh?
you were right on me as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you-
just messed up.
Your
here.
guess was probably right, but I'm still offended.
Well, you should be. I was way off on you.
Yeah. But I do think we should do this spreadsheet one, but we got to modify it to what Ben said, Google Sheets that you consult, because
Yeah.
all you two do way too much. Leone, are you primarily Google Sheets versus Excel?
Yeah,
Or
I don't have anything. I have very few things in Excel.
It's
people were making fun of me for using Google Sheets, and like the literal captain of the spreadsheet virgins is all Google Sheets. So stop shaming me for my Google Sheets.
Are we saying football only that we consult?
Wait,
What are we
I think we need a date. You got to give a date, cutoff date,
Okay, that's great.
because
Last
that's
open
easy
by?
for me to.
Yeah.
Sheets that I've opened since.
So sheets.
That's
Okay, I'll
good.
go to sheets then. Sheets that I've opened since. Well, although this is going to be a little tough. Am I frozen?
Just for a second.
Well, why is it gonna be a
So-
little tough, Pat?
It's going
And
to be a little
again,
tough.
Pat, remember the real answer does not matter.
Oh, right.
It's
okay.
just what I think.
That's what you think.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm doing
Okay,
this wrong.
let's just be clear. It's just that I've opened, which means I necessarily not that I consult these frequently. But what's the date? We got to give a date.
Let's say since November 1st, this month.
Okay.
But again, you're just guessing me. What you actually did does not matter.
I know, but I kind of want to see what I did just to get a feel for my own
Leone's
shit.
counting his fucking spreadsheets right now.
I am too. It's not a small number.
All
Okay. I've got my guess.
right, hang on. I have to come up with my. You have your guess for me, is what you're saying.
I have your guess.
Yeah.
I have my guess for you. Yeah.
All right. Jeez, man, this is where I am really gonna find out. I know Leone has a shit ton, but
Drew
I also
Drew
know,
would love this question. He makes fun of me so much.
I also know Leone's like pretty organized too, so I don't think it would be too unruly. And I mean, the real question, I mean, the amount of tabs you can have in Google Sheets too, like I have one master sheet that has way too much shit in it. So this gets interesting. This is separate files. All right. I have my guess for all three of you.
So this is a
Alright.
total combined sheets that we've opened since November 1st.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Consulted since
You've
November.
got yours already. So do you have
I
yours?
have my
Mine's
guess.
written down. Pencils are down for me.
I think we're just waiting on Ben.
Mine's written.
All right.
Wow.
77, 45. Wow. Karain. 49.
Oh God, my first guess was 50 on the nose.
Jesus.
How many are you,
Yes, first
Leone,
guess.
with the high guess?
I've got 36.
I have 26. I knew our number was going to be higher than what Pete would guess. I was confident of that.
Mine's a mess. I don't even know how to figure it out because I have to import like every CSV that I download has to import, and so like every week I import as a new because I don't have Excel.
That shouldn't really count.
Right, so that's why I was like, it doesn't feel like that should actually count, and then it makes it hard to count the ones I've actually used. But I think it's around 15, which is why I guess 45. I figured 15 for each of us.
I was initially in the 70s.
Is this because I underestimated you on the books? You underestimated me on the sheets?
Right.
Well, Pete's thing about the master spreadsheet, I mean, I use one spreadsheet for the walkthrough. I use one. And it's got a fuckload of tabs in it.
I use two for signals, two main ones, but I still have opened 26 since November 1st. Leone and I had over 60 just on our own, and Pete gets 49. So, Pat, whatever you had.
I mean, I'm on, maybe I should, like, I'm on my work computer. Like, this is what I do for a living. So I do have a lot of sheets.
I didn't know where you were going that. Are you going to say, like, I have 100 on my personal computer?
Also, it's Google, so it doesn't fucking matter what computer you're on, dude. As long as you're logged into Google.
I'm logged in. I have a different, I
actually use a different Google account for my work.
If you went through some of the problems I've gone through in the past, you would have a different Google account for your work.
Two of my sheets were Thanksgiving drafts.
No, but like a lot of the stuff we have on ETR is displayed off of a Google sheet.
Oh, that's it. Oh, like all the ranking, like you go to like
those
the
tables are just reading like right off a Google sheet. So
I said that was interesting, and I was like, I actually know that because I've literally embedded a Google sheet in your WordPress.
Oh,
wow, Leone just coming on here and shaming us. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. Yeah.
Leone, we're going to do one playoff draft, and then we'll get out of here after we've all been shamed for our lack of spreadsheets and reading.
You know,
Leone, 36 is a lot. I have sheets that are open for like Omni Fantasy
Gretch
stuff.
Is feeling spreadsheet inferiority complex right now. I can tell.
Dude,
no, I'm curious.
You guys should have consulted.
I'm just curious, dude. Just tell me what the fuck is going on.
All right. I mean, did you want to hear what they are? Or?
Yeah, I did.
Wow.
That's so boring.
No, okay. I do. The people want to hear.
I want to know roughly how many are football related.
All right. Well, there's one to push our projections to labs. There's our master sheet for our projections, and there's like a display for our projections. Then there's our volume stuff that has like, target shares.
Gretch is right. This is boring.
No.
There's the
Leone's
two by
Leone. Rattle these off on a stream for so long.
I want to know if you use sheets for stuff other than fantasy football. Is what I'm getting.
Well, I have all the NBA stuff too.
Oh, there you go.
Like who's 101 in the playoff draft?
Oh, geez, Josh Allen, right?
Yeah, feels right.
Yep, let's do it.
I have not looked at any playoff stuff yet.
Yeah, back
influencer 101.
Sam Sherman has some good stuff out there.
Allen's not going to play. He's not going to get the bye, right? I mean, that's
probably it's close. Probably not, though. They have the tiebreaker over KC, but they're a game behind.
Got it. That's right. They pulled it out.
538 has it at 65% first round bye chances for the Chiefs, 21% for the Bills.
Oh, wow.
That tracks with intuition, right? I mean,
yeah.
And then who's like, Titans. I guess like Baltimore. Is freaking Tennessee still alive for a bye again?
Titans, no, 0.6%.
Okay. Who's is Baltimore?
They're alive. They're 7-4.
Oh, Miami.
Yeah, Dolphins are 8%.
Oh, Tennessee lost to Kansas City. They're not really alive. They're 2 games behind Kansas City, and they lost to them head-to-head.
Yeah, they actually have a tough schedule, too. I'm guessing stacking's pretty important.
I think we just take a one-off Ryan Tannehill. He's probably the safest bet.
I mean,
look, if Josh Allen's not scoring, we need a quarterback to be scoring for us. So.
You can go one quarterback, right, in this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially
with your
Allen.
Super Bowl team.
Who's our NFC? I mean, I like the Niners in the NFC, man, but McCaffrey already went.
Well,
Cowboys.
Yeah.
No tight end like positional scarcity though in this format.
Yeah, that's what makes
What
it tough.
about-
because
There
not
goes
really-
same. You know,
I mean, should we
streaming
just
sometimes.
take Gabe?
Just get the So we
Yeah,
have
let's
two
get
picks here.
Gabe
One
done.
should definitely be Gabe.
Gabe Debo.
Should we just go
Um,
Gabe Singletary and then figure it out?
Mm.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, unless you wanted to like sit on James Cook, but
Yeah, let's do that. Because we can
Singletary?
figure it out different ways. I like getting the
Yeah, let's
the
get the stack
correlation
done.
lined up.
all right.
Yeah.
When Leone comes on, we gotta draft Bills every time.
Oh, Minnesota's a good one. Like, oh man, Dalvin would have been kind of fun.
Wait, wasn't that drafter that just took Lamar? Didn't they take Jalen Hurts in the first? Oh, is this a 2 QB draft?
No,
No.
No.
it's what we call a soft room.
Okay.
Leone, 5 minutes ago, haven't done any of these. I take it correlation's important. Soft room.
Didn't say we weren't a part of the softness.
Yeah, that's true.
It's cushy all around. G's pushing us for us to get Tampa Bay, Seattle pieces to meet Buffalo.
So I do not like Nick Wright just because I'm like not into that type of sports broadcasting, like the opinion stuff. But he had a rant on Tampa Bay about how they're gonna get like fucking this easy path in the playoffs, like Daniel Jones and then Geno Smith.
I saw that clip, yeah.
And I was like, that is
their week 15 through 17 schedule is easy too. Like they could.
I don't
definitely
think that's
crush
going to
that.
happen. They're going to get the 4 seed. They're 2 games back from every other division.
right. So they're gonna be home. They're gonna be home round 1 against like
Dallas, the top wild card.
oh,
right?
okay.
Right now, it's Dallas. Right now, they match up against Dallas.
Oh,
They'll
okay.
get smoked by
Because
Dallas.
NFC East is so stacked. Yeah, yeah. So you're probably right. So
If they get the 4 seed, there's going to be one good wild card out of the NFC East.
that's true. Yeah.
It's the 3 seed or the 2 seed that can get these really soft paths.
And they have very low chance for that, right? I mean,
Yeah, they're 2 games behind San Francisco and 4 behind Minnesota, and then 5 behind Philly. Like they got to make up a lot of ground to get anything other than the 4 seed.
It's
Okay.
not crazy that they could pass San Fran, but they're not going to pass the
better thing,
Minnesota
I guess, would
North.
be if Dallas somehow fell behind the Giants. That would help them,
right.
which can happen.
It could.
Yeah,
Although
that is a good.
Dallas
point,
just
though.
beat the Giants.
I think we should probably even just take McKenzie with one of these 2 picks too.
Yeah, Dallas is beat the
Yeah.
Giants.
What
I'm
about
cool with that.
49ers stuff? Because there's like Kittle and is there Kittle and Debo or
Did
no?
Ayuk go?
Debo's gone.
Debo's gone.
Is Ayuk
And
gone?
Ayuk's gone.
What
Ayuk
about,
went at 4 too.
Devontae. Get an Eagles thing.
They're
But
going to
then
have a
you're playing-
bye, and we can't really stack them up well anymore.
What about
Okay.
Seattle? Is there like Metcalf and Lockett?
Walker's there.
Yeah, I see Walker. If we could get
Seattle's
Metcalf,
currently on the
Lockett.
outside looking.
Metcalf's
in.
there.
Oh, sorry,
Whoa.
I meant. Wait, where's Metcalf?
I
I
think-
think Metcalf's down there so far.
because they might not make the playoffs. Those are like the best. I think Seattle's like a pretty.
Do you
good
want to
one.
grab Walker and see if Metcalf makes it back?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, let's do it.
We could split our NFC, but what's our like positional allocation? What should that be?
Yeah, so
Soft
1
room.
quarterback, 1 running back, 2 wide receiver, tight
Soft
ends,
room.
and then 1 flex.
5
Okay.
bench.
So we're like
Five back.
absolute max 3 running backs,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then it's all wide. And we're probably going 1 quarterback because it's Josh Allen. That's just our bet.
You could
Yeah.
you could tack Geno on at the end if you had a bunch of Seattle players.
We could, yeah. This lets us potentially split our NFC bets if it doesn't fall right. So
Yes, but see-
Metcalf and Lockett are still on the
I
board.
kind of
Right?
like G's point of a 1-2-7.
1-2-7 is definitely on the table.
Hmm.
It just kind of, I guess, if you end up splitting the NFC team, it just kind of depends who their best skill players are. 1-2-7 or 1-3-6. Yeah, it's like one of those 2.
Seahawks right now, 538 gives them 66% chance to make the playoffs, 13% to win the division.
Yeah, they're outside looking in right now, but all the NFC East teams are in and they're playing each other still. So Seattle's like better than 50%, right? Like they're in a pretty good spot. They're only a half game behind Washington.
There's also Godwin and Evans too.
Right.
That's true.
I mean,
But we should get a couple NFC teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Godwin Evans.
And also Seattle and Tampa Bay aren't competing against each other for a spot. So like,
yeah,
they could.
And probably wouldn't face each other in the
Metcalf,
first round
right?
either.
Man,
I
think Godwin Evans and then go to Seattle.
Yeah, we might be able to still get Metcalf is the thing. Who's
Okay.
going to really stack Seattle? Like, I think
play
Godwin Evans.
Yeah, play the ADP here.
All right.
Yeah. And Lockett's still available if you don't get Metcalf. So
Yeah. Hopefully you get both, but yeah, they're
The nice thing about Seattle Tampa is that Seattle would make it as a wild card and they'd be too low to play the Buccaneers, right?
I was just saying that they probably won't match each other in the first round.
Yeah.
What's are White or Fournette there?
And they wouldn't match each other in the second round if Seattle's a 7 seed. If they win, they immediately will
both
play
there.
the 1 seed.
Okay. So probably Seattle wide receivers first, and then Tampa
running
Bay
back.
running back.
That makes sense to me.
Oh, Dawson Knox too.
Knox and Cook kicking around, but we've already made a pretty big
We
bet
can't
on
do
Singletary.
Cook.
Yeah.
I
we
might
got
be
like
Knox
5
over Tampa Bay running back, but
How many spots? We got 5 guys right now, kind of in our mental queue for 3 spots.
Yeah.
Okay.
right.
The other thing we're definitely, because we're covered as far as Buffalo Super Bowl and that we have our quarterback, wide and running back. As far as like the onesie, like not taking a 0 there, so we can kind of go whatever we want positionally with the NFC stuff.
If we get Lockett Metcalf, that's an absolute smash. And then we've got a combination of Knox and the Tampa Bay running backs for the very last spot.
Fournette did go.
If we could get Rashad White at the very last pick, it'd give us 4 Buffalo and then 3-3.
Look at Metcalf and Lockett.
You want to do Metcalf and Lockett? What about Knox?
Or do you play the ADP game?
Isn't he higher in ADP?
Yeah, that's what I
I'm
mean.
higher
Do you
up.
go Knox?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What do you think?
I would go
want to take
Metcalf.
Knox personally.
I'd go Metcalf Lockett, but I think Knox is fine too. We could do Knox. I kind of feel like then you.
I would be Metcalf Lockett.
I'm going to take Metcalf first. We got.
All right, let's do Metcalf Lockett. I'm into that.
And then we've got Knox and Rashad White as like the 2 that we
already made
want.
a big enough bet on the Seahawks that I feel like it makes sense.
Yeah, they're so concentrated too to get all 3 of those guys. That's like their whole offense.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, this is
Knox is like Lockett. If they actually make a run, Lockett's going to smash Knox.
Right.
This is a fun ass team. I feel like Rashad White would be an absolute slam to like perfectly split our NFC bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
But
he's
not-
awesome. And then
They're
either NFC team
mirrored.
makes it, you have a second running back as well. It's a really nice.
You have the 3 best players on Seattle and Tampa Bay in their running back, 2 wide receivers.
I'm not doing another draft. This was it. This is the pinnacle.
This is it. Leone, normally I would have you send me your 250, but this one's on the house for coming on the show tonight.
We'll send you a slice of pizza when we win.
Yeah.
Send Gretch some money so he can buy a book.
That's good. That's good.
My
done.
God.
Good done. I own books. I own more books than I have time to read.
Holy shit.
I'm not going to be invited back.
Yes, you will.
Oh, I have to say before I leave that it's been an absolute pleasure getting to know all of you better over the years. And I know we may not see Peter for a little while.
I'm not
Not
dying,
only
guys.
super funny guy, but just super kind, wise, like super smart guy. Doesn't get enough credit overall. So good luck in fatherhood as well. I know
Yeah.
you're gonna do
Hey,
great.
good luck.
Thank you, man. I assume
Excited
it's like
for you.
pretty easy. I'll have time to read just kind of a bunch of books. And the kid will just kind of take care of himself.
Should we have like a betting line on?
I cared way more about my spreadsheets being not up to snuff than my book rating being not up to snuff.
Yeah.
Dude, having more spreadsheets is not really a flex. That's because that's
Right.
also a sign of disorganization. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like having less spreadsheets is good. You don't want to have no spreadsheets. Then what's the
yeah, you have the right number of
Imagine having
spreadsheets.
those spreadsheets.
Whoa, dude, no spreadsheets? Okay.
All right.
That's cool.
All of
Yo,
us
that
old
team's
men.
sick, though. For
It is
real,
a
like,
Did we get White? It was put
We
into
did.
Dynasty Waivers.
We did. I'll
All right.
put it up on the screen here.
That's such
Uh,
a sick team.
I'll
Wow.
even.
It's
name
pretty
it.
crazy.
Yep. There we go. This is our baby here.
Really
very fun
nice
team.
build.
That's a fun one.
Bills triple, and then 3 Seahawks, 3 Bucks. Whew.
Can see it. I appreciate the tip. Thanks for the memories. I'm not dying, guys. I'll be back in a couple weeks. Everybody relax.
He's gonna come back. He's gonna have facial hair. He's gonna be like,
Yes.
Pat's gonna get out his guitar. It's something unpredictable. But in the end, it's right.
Oh shit.
so is
I should make a montage. God, this is when I wish I had video editing skills. I should make a montage of Pete to close out the show.
in memoriam.
In memoriam. In memoriam.
Are you hosting then, Pat, or is
Yeah.
Dutch hosting? You guys co-hosting, or I
I
guess
had
we
to
all
be doing the
co-host,
show.
but
We
It's
had
not
told
gonna
you,
be good.
Leone.
Whatever it is,
You were
it's
actually
gonna
going to
be a
be the fill-in guest.
Yeah, you're
host.
hosting.
Gosh.
Leone.
Let's
You're
just-
hosting. I need
See you
to
next
want
week,
you
bud.
running.
all right.
The
The
whole
show's got to start at 6:30 after I eat dinner at 5:00.
All right, new
There
time
you
for
go.
the show, guys.
Due time.
All
we're
right.
gonna do it around when Leone says he's got to eat, but it's really so we can do the waivers when he wants to do them.
Yeah.
All
Only
right,
one more
Leone,
week.
thanks for swinging by. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, schedule will be a little wonky. Pat's going to be making thumbnails. It's going to be great.
The schedule won't be wonky. The schedule will be the regular schedule. The thumbnails will
Okay.
be a fucking disaster.
I can't wait. I absolutely can't. The thing is, Pat, is I gave Sam and Drico all the instructions for making thumbnails for stat chasing. You actually have access to all of that, but I have a feeling that you're just never going to follow those instructions and you're just going to put monstrosities out there every week.
Where are the instructions?
They're
They're
fucking
pinned
pinned
in
in
that
that group
chat.
chat.
All right.
I was gonna look at those at one
Pat,
point. I was
don't
like, this
be
seems like
bullied
something I
out of
should
your
read.
artistic.
I know,
Yeah.
God. Like I'm out here making art.
They
I
want them. The people want your shitty thumbnails.
shitty thumbnails. Wow, dude. Wow,
One
I think
person's
they're pretty good
trash.
thumbnails.
I
Okay,
think they're great.
I think
All
they're
right.
a little different than yours, but I guess that's shitty.
We gotta
You
get
tell your
Leone to
kid his
bed.
drawings are shitty, huh?
Good night, everybody.